Michael Fitzsimmons.
Next, we'd like to play easier, moderate swing composition by Thad Jones. It was performed by the Thad Jones Melloist Orchestra. It's entitled Quietude, and it features Lillian Wu on piano, Todd Foreman on alto, and Matt Schernbaum on tenor. Next, we'd like to feature our baritone saxophone player, Jenny Na. Let's hear it for Jenny Na right now. Even before. This is a Matt Cattengoob composition dedicated to Ella Fitzgerald entitled Miss Ella. Jenna. Our last selection with the Second Jazz Ensemble will be conducted by our teaching assistant, Dave Copland.
This is a tune that's written by Jay Beckenstein, arranged by John Barry, and features what I'd like to call the caregiving part of our group here. We have two doctors, a psychobiologist, and a music major. I'm not going to tell you which is which. I'll let you decide that as you hear the solos. It's Lillian Wu on vibes, Matt Terich on guitar, Dan Pimpstone on tenor, and Todd Foreman on alto. And this is a tune entitled, as I said before, oh, I didn't actually, Soho Mojo.
Thank you. Okay, we're not going to take an intermission quite yet. We are going to make a fast switch to Jazz Ensemble 1. We'll be right back. Okay, we'd like to start off with this Jazz Ensemble 1 with Time Bomb by Mark Taylor. And this features Dave Copland on drums, Sam Dorman on piano, and John DeVerso on trumpet. Dave Copland on drums. Sam Dorman, piano. John DeVerso, trumpet. next we'd like to play a ballad by Paul Baker entitled Once There Was, and this features David Borgo on tenor sax, Ken Fisher on bari sax, John DeVersa once again on trumpet, and Todd Sigafus on bass. John Naversa, Ken Fisher, Todd Sikafus. To close out this set, we'd like to play a student composition. This is a number by John Naversa. He's going to play a solo in it on trumpet, and also David Borgo on tenor sax. Fast and direct. Jazz Ensemble 1. We're going to take a short break, take a real short break here, and we'll come back with two jazz legends, Gerald Wilson and Snooky Young. First guest artist here tonight, a member of the UCLA Department of Ethnomusicology and Systematic Musicology, Mr. Gerald Wilson.
you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Gordon Henderson, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First, I'd like to say that it's a pleasure to be here tonight. Pleasure to be back with the jazz ensemble here at UCLA. Really some fine guys, and I've enjoyed the first part of the program. It was really great. Why don't we give them a big round right now, another big round. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I'm very happy to introduce a dear friend of mine, a young man that I met back in 1939 when I was in Detroit, Michigan, playing in a band there. And I joined the band that he was a member of at that time called Chick Carter. The band was from Ohio. We became very good friends at that time. And later on, after I joined Jimmy Lunceford's band, about 6 months later, when one of the trumpet players left, Snooky came to join the Jimmy Lunceford band, where we stayed for about 3 years. Snooky, of course, one of the great trumpet players of all time. I told him he would be one of the greatest of all time. And I knew that he would be able to do the job, and he has done it. He's played with all of the greats all over the world, and was with the Tonight Show band for about, 30 years. That's really great, huh? 30 years? Wow. And you know he's rich, huh? Right. It's so good to be with my dear friend again tonight. And we've been together with so many bands. We played with a lot of bands together. But tonight, I'm glad to have him here with us. The first, Snooky, where's Snooky Young? How about Snooky? We're getting ready to start with our part of the program here. Gordon selected these numbers. Many of them are out of a brand new album that I have. In fact, it's the last album that I have out now. And first of all, I'd like to tell you that how about that bottle there? Yeah. What's in it? Evian, I bet. Anyway. When we were with Jimmy Lunceford's band back in 1939, ladies and gentlemen, one of the members of the Lunceford band wrote a number for the band, and it was the first number that I ever had a trumpet solo in, and Snooky was playing the lead trumpet on that particular record. Tonight he's going to play the solos and going to play a little lead maybe. I don't know what he'll do over there, but he's going to do it, I'll tell you that. This number was composed by a great writer by the name of Eddie Durham, as I said, played with the great Jimmy Lunceford band, but he also played with the great Benny Moten band from Kansas City, a band that Count Basie was the piano player in. And this band was the first band to ever use the word swing. They're the first band to ever swing, actually, the Benny Moten band. As we know, that probably swing actually came from Kansas City. So in 1990 I decided that I would transcribe this number from the record, the original Jimmy Lunceford record, and record it with my band. It's a number that I actually had the pleasure of naming. Having just joined the band, when Eddie brought it in, there was no title on it. So Jimmy Lunceford, the leader of the band, said, gee, we don't have a title for this. So I had just joined the band. I wanted to, pick up a few chips with the boss there. So I said, why don't you name it Lunceford Special? I knew he'd go for that. And he did. And it has stuck through all these years. It's a number called Lunceford Special, featuring on trombone, Alan Ferber, and on alto sax, Naoki Taniguchi, and on tenor sax, David Borgo, and of course Snooky will be on trumpet, David Crimsley on the screech trumpet. This is Lunceford Special. Ready, fellas? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Snooky Young. Snooky Young and the band. Snooky will be back in just a bit. Right now, though, we're going to continue. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, our program, by the way, all of the numbers but one can be found in my latest album called Jenna. Right down on Tower Records in Westwood. This number was written for my youngest granddaughter. I have two, and I have 4 grandchildren, but I have 2 daughters. Anyway, it's for my youngest. Her name is Jenna. We're going to feature again on guitar, this time not again, but on guitar, Olin Goish on guitar, again, Naoki Taniguchi on alto, and John DeVersa on trumpet. This is Jenna. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. We hope that you will stop by Tower tomorrow. Right here, we're going to continue, ladies and gentlemen, with another number that's out of that same album. All three have been out of that album that you've heard so far. All two. The next one also. This is a number, ladies and gentlemen. I go from one year to the other. The first one was an old number in 39. This one was 1990. We're going to go back to, about 1965 now. I got interested in the world of taurine, the world of dedicazos, passe naturales, afaroladas, gallaneras, all kinds of things like that. I know you know what I'm talking about. Sure you do. Anyway, it honors the great matador by the name of Carlos Urruza. It's named simply Carlos. We're going to feature Jay DeVersa on the trumpet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jay DeVersa. How about Jay there? All right, Jay. John DeVersa. Yeah. He's really good. He's really something. You know, I had the honor and pleasure of having his father with my band for a couple of years. Even did some recording with me. They're both great trumpet players, the DeVersas. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call back to the stand now. My dear friend again, my buddy. He got as much money as he has. By the way, you know, I'll be right here at 9 o'clock in the morning talking about those old timers. Right. Okay, Snooky, we're going to do a little blues now. Ladies and gentlemen, you know without the blues there is no jazz, you know that. And my class knows all about it, the 1-4-5, right? Sure they do. Anyway, are any of you here, by the way? Any of my students here tonight? All right, let me hear from you. Is that all? All right. Anyway, okay. This is a number, ladies and gentlemen, goes back to 1949. This time, a number that I had the pleasure of composing and orchestrating for the great Count Basie when I was a member of that band. And he said to me one day, he said, Gerald, I want you to write me a number, put me some ensemble stuff in there like the way the old Jimmy Lunceford band used to do. So I knew what he meant by that. We used to do a thing there. I'll tell you all about it a little later as we get into the number. But I did it, and this is what happened. You can also find this on record, too. It's called, yes, it's in one of my other albums. It's called You Better Believe It. Oh, yeah. Featuring some other guys here, too. Featuring, again, David Borgo on tenor sax, Kenny Weiner on tenor sax, of course, Snooky Young on trumpet, and Alan Ferber on trombone. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. know when Count Basie asked me to write this number for him, ladies and gentlemen, I knew exactly what he meant. When we were with the Jimmy Lunceford Band, if you remember Snooky, we used to play them soft and then we would play them loud. We did what we call a couple of courses, triple pianissimo, which means extremely soft, and then a couple of courses, triple fortissimo, which means extremely loud. We're going to demonstrate that for you now. Really, what a great bunch of guys, huh? They're really doing it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the last number on our part of this program is a number that happened to have been the first recording ever of one of my compositions. It was recorded by the Jimmy Lunceford Band in 1941. How it happened that I wrote this number, I was writing an arrangement on Stompin' at the Savoy. This is a number written by Edgar Sampson and Benny Goodman. So I was over at a friend's house, a musician friend, and I told him, I said, I have this wonderful introduction here I want you to hear that I'm writing on this arrangement for Stompin' at the Savoy. So when I played it for him, he says, hey, why don't you just make yourself a bridge and then you'll have yourself an original number and you can get all the royalties. So, hey, I thought about that. Yeah, that ought to do it. So I did exactly what he said. I made myself a bridge, and then we did the number. And I told him, I says, you know, Roger, I never would have thought of that. So since you gave me the idea, I'm going to give you half of the number. And I did. And boy, we made some pretty good bucks with it, too. Yeah, Roger lives right here in Hollywood now. He's been here for many years. At one time, he was the president of the Teachers Union or something. He was a fine musician that worked with us. Anyway, that's how this number came about. So I told Roger, what am I going to name it? So he was a young Jewish lad. So he says, why not name it Dog Mazurka? So, okay, you got it, Dog Mazurka.